In the brutal podcast system, any jackass with a microphone and internet connection can pose as an expert on any topic under the sun. Fortunately, however, there exists a humble duo of said jackasses who at least aspire to minimize the effects of the current egregious level of aforementioned fake-ass horseshit and those who perpetrate it. This duo attempts this very noble task by allowing you, the listener, to have total unimpeded access to the real minutia of their pathetic everyday lives. This two-member task force is known deep within the podcast world as Zero Front. These are their stories.
Welcome into another edition of Zero Front. Joe and I are here for another episode. We're ready to go.
All right, all right. Shawnee went to the gym and now he's fucking brawny. Go ahead. How you doing, buddy?
Not bad. It's a summer day. Is it,
We were just joking before we went on, but that's okay. But hey, it's
and
good that we should be, funny and happy. You know what I'm saying? But what were you
is
saying
it,
about?
did the summer officially start yet?
Oh, it's a good question. I think that it's right around the time when public schools let out, because I remember that one year. Someone told the gym teacher, "Oh, did you know today's the first day of summer?" And it's pretty consistent, the third week of June or
It
so.
says June 20th,
There you
around
go.
June 20th or 21st or 22nd. So I guess
Hmm.
it's kind of weird to think that it's still the spring. That's bizarre.
Yeah, I just you know me, bro. I mean, summer's cool, but dude, I just the fall is my time of year, but it goes so quickly. It goes so quickly.
Can you talk about what just happened? We were about to
Sure.
start the show and you had a little fire scare.
Well, yeah, I live in a big building, 18 floors and at least maybe 16 apartments and 25 people per floor. There's a lot of people in this. So you take fire alarms seriously. Sometimes you get the erroneous one. Often you get the erroneous one. I've been here 7 years. There was one year where some guy burnt something about 4 floors down or 5 floors down, and it was a legitimate. There were firemen in here and everything else, but I didn't have to move too much. But I also don't want to be the boy that cried wolf either. Like get lured into a false sense of, and we're all cinder block and concrete. I mean, you know, even between floor, so I get a little bit, but you have to respect it. So just as I'm goddamn getting, excuse me. Well, I don't mean, when I say goddamn, by the way, I mean, I'm asking God to damn this thing like a hatchet if it's laying. I was like, God, this goddamn hatchet. I'm asking God to damn the hatchet. I'm not damning God like someone else said them. Oh, you're damning God. No, I'm not. But anyway, I sat down to do the show. I'll be all right. I had a lot of caffeine. I sat down to do the show at 8:28 or whatever, because you and I were going to, around at 8:30, and it started. So I was about 7.5 minutes late because I'm standing out on my balcony and talking to my next door neighbors, and we're deciding what the hell we're going to do. And we kind of start, it is what it is. They've been here longer than I have. It's a long time. And it's just like, okay, well, she went out, took a sniff, and looked around, and said, okay, okay, there's nothing going on. And we look down, you look down, and you see about 25 people standing out there in the parking lot who that would have been me 7 years ago, but 25 people or 30 people as opposed to God Almighty, how many people live in this, it's a drop in a bucket. So that's another thing that made us feel like, no, you know, 90% of the people living in this building are still in the building, So anyway, it was fake. It was whatever it was. That's fine. It's just a little bit frustrating. Um, and with that, Sean, I wanted to tell everybody a story here about that. I just wanted to touch on something. I told you this story, but I want to tell it. I was in the I was in my building about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. One night, it was this Saturday night. I'm getting ready to go out and get my cheap meal. Um, I bump into a fella that I'd never seen before in the elevator. And it's just friendly because that's the way I'm that kind of an elevator dude. Some people get on the elevator and all of a sudden, I hope I didn't. That's the noise. I hope it's not going to start that again. Okay. So I said hello to the guy, Latin fella. And they said, hey, man, how you doing? Okay, no, that's cool. How you doing? And I said, good. Okay, sir. And he goes his way, I go my way. I got to my vehicle. I don't know where the hell he went. I'm in my vehicle. I'm getting the air situated, the sound situated. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. This guy's a distant memory. 3 minutes later, I come around, and you know that light I'm talking about. You've been here. So I come around to the light. It's like a jug handle light. Excuse me. I didn't hit my cough button fast enough. Um, but I come around to the light, and there's this cargo van in front of me, Shawnee. And it's a Saturday, so there's not a whole lot of traffic. But I know this light, I got to get up to this light and make my left because it doesn't stay green long. First thing you get is a green arrow and a green light. Then the green arrow goes away, which still enables you to make, and it doesn't last long. Well, I'm coming around, and I'm seeing this cargo van in front of me, and he's lollygagging. And I'm thinking, I don't know who this joker is, but is he like pissed off that I'm too close to him? Like from behind, I'm too close to him, and he's going to start fucking playing games with me. And I don't like that stuff, right? So I got impatient, and I'm going to tell you something. I got impatient. I was and I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. I was undisciplined, and this is how stuff happens. I was a smacked ass for what I did. I come up behind him. I got the feeling like he was, lollygagging, and I go to pass him on the left. So I cross over a double yellow, and police, don't worry, I'm moving to Texas next month, so you're never going to get. I slide over the double yellow, and I'm moving. I'm almost past him, and all of a sudden I hear, bang. And I'm thinking, what the hell? And I just look over, and my mirror, the passenger side mirror, is folded in. And I look a little closer, and I don't see a mirror. I see the casing from it pulled it in, and I see anyway, it's hanging down. I'm thinking, oh man, Jesus! I'm thinking, God damn it! So I make my left, and he's still back at the light, and I'm thinking, I'm just going to get. And I said, whoa, 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 Joey, technically you're leaving the scene of and I can't stay right where I was. That means I've got my Jeep parked in the middle of the fucking intersection. I got to leave somehow. So I leave, and I'm thinking, I'm gone, man. I'll take care of my mirror myself and this and that. And I said, whoa, don't do that. You're also okay. I give myself credit for at least don't do that. Roll back, see what happens. If he rolls on past you, it's a dead issue. Well, he rolled up on me. He's beeping a horn and shit like that. And I'm like, all right. And I turned around and said, that looks like a lot like the Joker I just saw in the elevator. What the hell is going on? I said, and I'm thinking, so I signaled to this guy. I don't know this for sure that he's the same guy yet, because I didn't really study his face when in the elevator or anything. But I looked over, and he's looking over, and I'm giving him a look like, yo, man, why don't you just get the fuck? Why don't you roll it? But he didn't want to. He's looking at me, blah, blah. So I put my hand out the window, and I pointed up the road. We can pull off up the road. And he enough to where he knew what I meant. So we get up there, and I can't really see what I'm doing because I'm looking out this passenger side mirror to get who's behind me or whatever, and I can't see a goddamn thing. So I'm doing it the old fashioned way. I'm looking over my shoulder. So, okay, so I get into the right lane. I pull into Burger King because I figure this is going to go a couple of ways. If he's really pissed off, okay, fine. I'm prepared for that. I don't want that. And I even think I can speak with the man. And I know I was wrong because no matter what he was doing, I passed him. I crossed over a double yellow.
So what was the result?
The road, yeah, that's cool. That's fine. The result, we pull into, and he doesn't get out of his car. I get out at the van. I got out of my car, and I had my palms facing him up in the air because I wanted to see two things. I'm not carrying anything. And my posture matches my words because the first thing I said, I said 3 times. I said, my bad, my bad, my bad. And he's like, oh, well, that's okay, man. And he was a really nice guy. And he just as nice as he seemed in the elevator. He got out. I said, yo, that was you. And he goes, yeah, that was me. I said, holy God. I said, I tell you, I thought you were moving over into the right lane because that's partially true. I thought he was debating whether or not he should move over to that right lane. And anyway, he was cool with it. And I said, okay, do we need to? I just said, we need to, because I'm thinking like, we don't need insurance cards and all that kind of, we're not. And I said, I know my mirror. I said, it's mine. And I said, how are you over here? And he looked down his cargo van. It was a tiny little something. He goes, it's a cargo van. I let it go. And I said, really? I said, I shook his hand, and then when I shook his hand, I pulled him the hell in to hug him, and he hugged me before I could even hug him. It was like that's the way things should be. But I look at that and I think, Joseph, you have got to, and this is going to lead me into what I want to talk about. You've got to get a hold on this and start acting a little more responsibly and maturely when you're behind a wheel. Because I lose my temper and get quick. Now, I see on the news, Shawnee, you see it all the time. I can remember 30 years ago standing in a gym talking about this road rage stuff with a couple other dudes. And one dude says, yeah, you got to watch it today, man. I don't care how big you are, this or that. He says, dudes will shoot you. This is 30 years ago. And the world's gotten more violent and everything. I see it all the time on the news. And I don't want to be a statistic. And I don't want some poor son of a gun who just loses his temper and because he's startled. And that's where I want to go with this, Sean. Road rage is something, and especially we dudes have got to get a handle on it. I don't care what we have to do. I don't care if we have to invent a new hand sign that says there is an ASL, there's a sign for my fault, but no one's going to know that but if we get some kind of universal sign, instead of having a universal sign for FU, right? We could have a universal sign where you're driving for my fault. I think there's already one for help. But it's one of those things where at least a guy could say, wave his fist or do something like that and say, okay, my fault. But we've got to get a handle, me personally, and society. We've got to, and especially males. It's us dudes most of the time. It's we dudes most of the time. We got to find a way, Shawnee, to take a proactive measure here because mothers are putting their babies in the ground. I say babies, 20, 21, 22, because of shit like this. And it's ridiculous. I happened to really come out of the smelling like a rose. I couldn't have been any better. There was no moving violation, no cost. And here's the kicker. That side view mirror was shattered, right? Shadoob it. It was shattered. So I got on Amazon Prime. And you know how you have cashback bonus and this and that with some here and there as well. That could have been my whatever it is, my credit card. But I had all kinds of cashback bonus, like $38, and the mirror was only like $26. So it really didn't even cost me anything if you get down to it. Nor did it cost me anything against my license, nor did anybody get hurt because I crossed the double yellow briefly. And that's all it takes. So mea culpa. I was very fortunate, but I wanted to bring this out to you because we do this too. We do it because we get startled. Think about the times you're carrying something and one of your friends just scares the shit out of you. And it's like, yo, what the fuck? You know what I mean? That's when you're driving. And when we have those reactions, I looked at it and spoke to a lot of people. It's when you're suddenly startled. And we as males, we get mad, like, oh, what the fuck? That kind of a thing. And so we gotta, with regard to road rage, and I'm almost finished. With regard to road rage, we have to, as a society, we have to figure out ways that we can be proactive in slowing this down. Thank you. How do you feel about any of that, Sean?
Good, man. This is a very long story, but we understand what you're talking about. Appreciate where you're coming from. Maybe you could save someone's life in the future.
Mm-hmm.
It makes someone think, you know what I mean? So it's all
And
good, man.
have you experienced anything out there like that kind of stuff, or are there any commonalities to the times that you do experience it or anything? Maybe you just
No,
keep.
when I'm driving, I'm pretty cool. I'm just like, I mean, I get annoyed at things, but like I'm always, I don't
Yeah,
even,
yeah,
but
you do. You get pissed, but you don't go thermo, and it's just one of those things that and
yeah.
we'll
But
touch on it.
dude, how is that strawberry cheesecake muffins at
Okay, yeah.
ShopRite? Those things I tried to find them. Like you said, you found these strawberry cheesecake muffins. I tried to find them at my ShopRite, but all I could find was strawberry cheesecake cinnamon rolls. But the strawberry cheesecake cinnamon roll is delicious, dude. It's like really good, man.
And I don't doubt that, Shawnee, and I wish I could cinnamon rolls. I have a recipe my mom left. It was the cinnamon buns with cream cheese in the middle. I'm not going to get involved in that, but the cinnamon anymore, it raises hell with me like you wouldn't believe. I mean, like a
Well, the thing
cayenne
about these though, I don't even know if there's actually any.
heartburn is what I'm
All
talking
the strawberry cheesecake cinnamon roll, but I don't even know if it has any cinnamon. Like it's just like the texture of a cinnamon roll, but
about.
instead of like the
Oh.
cinnamon in between, it's like strawberry in between instead of cinnamon.
Oh, so it's in lieu of the cinnamon. Okay, they got to be vicious. Then I thought of you today because I was
Yeah, it
grocery
has like
shopping
the
today.
texture of like the cinnamon roll, but it's strawberry. It's pretty good, man.
Okay, and you know what? I saw four. You know, they come in the 6 packs. I saw 4 of them stacked up today. I thought of you. I was like, I didn't get one this week, but I was looking at it thinking, Jesus, it's right here. There's 4 of them. But I don't know. Yeah, every ShopRite
But you
bakery is
didn't you didn't
different.
stock up again?
No, 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 no. That's a
Oh
treat.
man.
That's a treat, cause I mean, and they'll throw that out. You know, with the ShopRite bakeries, they don't do the same things all the time, but they will. If you see something, if you wait, you'll see it again. So probably by the time I'm ready, I'll grab I'll grab one of those. I'm going to do a person of the week real quick. Okay. Person of the week. This will take less than 3 minutes. And it's not like we're pressed for time here either, but person of the week. And this is just my person of the week. What we want to do is it could be a celebrity, but hopefully it's someone you know and someone in your life. There's been a girl that's been cutting my hair and cutting my hair with precision for about 16 or 17 years. Jessica from Great Clips in Voorhees on Route 73. She's been there forever. She's a manager, great talent, great personality. She's also having a baby soon. So go see her. She's one of the best cosmetologists in the state, in my view, and a great gal. So, Jess, keep up the good fight. I hope you're feeling strong and better, and I'll see you next time around. Now, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Hey man. All right. So I was walking the other day in town and I had my AirPods in and I sneezed, but I couldn't hear like what was going on the outside. But I saw this lady like look at me and it looked like she voiced like bless you. She said something. So I looked at her and I said thank you. But afterwards I was thinking, I was like, what did she was just talking on the phone or she didn't say bless you. And all of a sudden I just look at her and say thank you. Hopefully she didn't think I was being rude because I sneezed and she didn't say anything. But like, I think she did say it. But think about it, my AirPods when I couldn't hear her, dude.
Yeah, when your earpods are in, there's a it can put you in a precarious position sometimes. But now, is this lady someone that you will see
No,
again?
I never saw her before in my life.
Then
Yeah,
I wouldn't sweat it. I know what you're saying though. You don't want her to think you were being a sarcastic smartass. That's what you don't want her to think because you really don't know if she said God bless you. But let's give her the benefit of the doubt. You know,
yeah.
let's give her the benefit of the doubt.
Dude, did you see Justin Timberlake got pulled over? I think it was in Long Island for a
Yeah,
DWI. He
I
claims he only had one cocktail, but people in the bar were claiming they saw him drinking the whole night, drinking other people's drinks, and
Yeah, he's full of
uh,
shit. He's full of shit. I don't believe that one. He had one martini and then he followed friends home. Where the fuck are your friends? Okay, well they're home. I mean, come on. Okay, go ahead, Sean. I know he's full of shit. We know that. In this, I don't mind the guy, but he's full of shit with this story. But go ahead.
yeah. Yeah, I guess sometimes celebrities try to get out of stuff, you know what I mean? Because apparently he refused the breathalyzer test. So
Yeah, and this bothers me too because I listen. I'm not going to get political, but if he were a 40-year-old black man instead of Justin Timberlake, and he look, it's your right to decline the test. But if he were that uncooperative and if he were African American, I don't know. He might not even be alive. I'm just saying, I don't know. I never thought that I would ever see what I saw in Minnesota with that cop and that guy's in the I just so I don't know. Let's just be optimistic and say that's not the case, but it makes one wonder sometimes. Now, as far as what happens with Justin Timberlake, the best thing that happened is he didn't hurt anybody else or himself for drinking and driving. Okay. That's the best thing that happened. As far as
yeah.
any legalities that happened to that Joker, that's tough shit for him. I mean, really.
What do you think about the Celtics winning the title? Now they have the most in history. I think they were tied with the Lakers for 17 each. Now I think they have 18. And the funny part about that, I think I just learned that on Jimmy Kimmel Live. He was talking about it, and I'm like, I just trusted that they're right. But yeah, I think the Celtics have the most ever. But I think they had an easy path to the final. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I easily could have saw the Denver Nuggets winning the title, but I guess the Mavericks beat them, and it's just one of those things, man.
Yeah, I just don't know what happened with Denver. I mean, but I heard someone talking the other day that is Boston now going to be a dynasty? See, everything that happened 5 minutes ago is this the best of all time? Every guy, it's like these people. It's frustrating to no end because people have such short attention spans that whatever happened 3 minutes ago. Oh, you just won the Super Bowl. Now is he the best quarterback of all time for the ages? No, settle the fuck down. The Denver Nuggets were the best team last year. The Celtics were, they proved they were the best team this year. But this is the NBA, and it's only two stars now and then some surrounding players. And there are a lot of teams with two stars and surrounding players that can really get it. So I think the Boston has to be favored. But I'll tell you, if you ask me, would I take Boston or the field next year? I'll take the field. That's all. All due respect to Boston. And guess what? I'm glad. I'm glad they're one up on the Lakers because I don't like either one of those. And believe me, the rivalry runs deep with the Celtics, with the Sixers. But you know what? The Lakers too. The Lakers too. And you know what? If I'm going to choose one of them, I'm going to choose the fucking Celtics. And guess what? Lakers, you're a championship behind. I'm glad.
Anyway, Tupac would have turned 53 a couple days ago. It's crazy because no one still no one knows who killed Tupac.
Yeah, they want to point at Biggie, and I don't know. I don't know. Was Biggie? I don't want. I can't forget which one of them was shot first, but um, with Tupac, I can't remember which one of those jokers was shot first, but I know they weren't getting along, and it was an East-West thing. Um, so again, if I'm in that, I'm going to be more of a Biggie guy than. But you know what? I think it's a shame all the way around. I don't know who shot Tupac, but I think they. I saw something on TV, Shawnee, about a month and a half ago that they actually know now the guy that was in the car, one of the guys that was in the car that said he was just in the car or whatever, he either did the deed or he knew who did the deed. It was one of those things. I think it was like a month and a half ago. I'm not sure. But I could tell you this about Tupac. He had a song called Panther Power that I thought was tough as shit. But everything else that he's ever, I just don't,
Like
yeah,
that song California?
I guess if I heard it, I mean,
California Love? California Love. It's like
uh,
California.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
I
song,
could dig that. I could dig
yeah.
that. But I was not a big, in the mid 80s, I was a tremendous Run DMC. Curtis Blow had a song called Basketball and another song called 8 Million Stories. Um, was Run DMC, there was Grandmaster Flash, there was Sugar Hill, there was all kinds of, and for me, I just kind of lost a little bit of enthusiasm for rap. Not a lot, but a little bit during this time too. So, yeah, I mean, Biggie was big, no pun intended. Tupac, I mean, I've heard people make him from everything from the Second Coming to like a famous, a genius poet, and I don't know. The dude was a rapper, and he was pretty good at what he did. I do like that he really, really loved and cherished his mother. I do like that about it. Um, and I do like that he was a word man because, like us, he was a word man. He liked that component of music and everything, and he was pretty talented there. And I kind of look at him in that, I don't know if a famous poet is appropriate, but I look at his lyrics, and I think that's pretty cool. That's neat stuff. But
Yeah, you want to
neither
do
here.
lyrics? I got the lyrics.
Oh yeah, do your lyrics, cuz.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
The lyrics are as follows. I have my own life and I am stronger than you know. It's a song called Leather and Lace by Stevie Nicks and Don Henley from a 1981 album, Belladonna. Stevie Nicks album, Belladonna.
Yep.
Um, this song is just a really good song. I mean, I love Stevie Nicks. I love Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, yeah.
Don Henley's obviously the man too. Yeah, he was in the Eagles. I mean, I just saw the Eagles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, this when I like it's not like the whole song is like this is not lyrics relating to the whole song. When I hear these lyrics, the way she sings it,
Hmm.
I have my own life and I'm stronger than you know. It just makes me think about sometimes people in your life, you know what I mean? They try to butt into your life and try to get way too like, you know what I mean, aggressive and try to like,
Right.
butt into your life basically and just how you're doing things and commenting how you're doing things. And you're like, wait, I have my own life and I'm stronger than you know. Like, leave me the hell alone type of thing. You know what I mean?
True that. True that. I like that. I like the tune too, and I think it was leather and lace, and I think
Yeah.
I think I can still hear her voice saying, "Give to me your leather, and I'm the lace." I think the lace is feminine; it was her, and the leather was the guy. I can remember that from listen. I can remember, I can absolutely visualize remembering um saying goodnight to my girlfriend, my little high school girlfriend, and that saying goodnight. It was either Friday or Saturday. It could have been any night. I don't know. But it was out on her front stoop. And I could remember her reciting these lyrics, some of that stuff. And she would like kill me with this. She just like, yeah, it's a pretty cool song, but that kind of stuff. But no, hand to God, and I can remember, and I remember her saying that, "Dude, give to me your leather and take from me my lace," or something like that. Oh no, 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 no! What she said, "You in the moonlight," or some kind of shit like that. I can't remember that much, but I can remember being out there on the porch with her and her really digging this song more than I did. It's cool, but I can remember that like it was like 5 years ago, and here it was 40. No, not 40, 35, whatever the hell it was. But yeah, man. Yeah, good shit. Good stuff. All
Can't
right.
believe
So,
I just saw a
what?
story before we do the album cover. Um, I saw a crazy story where Stonehenge,
Yeah, some jokers are painting that orange.
the guy that activists and just who are anti-oil, they started like spray painting Stonehenge. And I'm just surprised it doesn't happen more often. But Stonehenge is so legendary and so unique. But I just wonder like what the security is. Like, jokers just like going there and defacing Stonehenge. It's crazy.
Activists really, we all know activists can get a little bit carried away. And they think they're accomplishing a great deal and they're not. But yeah, I saw that too. Um, what do you want? You want me to do album cover? Or you wanted me to do the on the reel?
Well, let's do
You,
both. First, let's do on the real first.
okay. So on the reel, and here's how it's going to go, Shawnee. And this is because I've had a couple of people say to me, "Hey, you guys don't do that anymore." Because we're going to do it once in a while. Okay, so we're going to do it once in a while. And here's how it's going to go tonight. It can go either way. Normally, Sean, I say on the reel, find the real headline, and two of these are bullshit, right? This is the other way around. Okay. Two of these are real, and one of them is bullshit. All right. So FBC, find the crock. FTC, find the crock, right? Find the false story, Sean. Two
Okay.
of them are true, one of them is false. Okay. So here we go. And I'll just read it to you. There's no reading. Okay. So first one. El Paso man caught trying to sell his stepson over the internet. Sister-in-law noticed ad and frantically contacted police. Read it one more time. El Paso man caught trying to.
I got it. I got it.
Okay. Okay. Second one, Anchorage, Alaska. An Alaska man and two police officers rescued a baby moose from what police described as sure demise after it fell into a lake and got stuck in a very narrow space between a float plane. You ever see those planes with the pontoons? A float plane, that's what I'm assuming that is, and a dock. Baby moose trapped there. Alaska police and bystanders rescued a baby moose. Okay, in Anchorage, Alaska. The third one, a 2,000-year-old Roman funerary. Okay, mausoleum. A 2,000-year-old Roman mausoleum urn. So they found an urn unearthed in southern Spain. And that makes sense. I mean, the Roman Empire spread all. Okay. So a 2,000-year-old Roman urn unearthed in southern Spain has been shown to contain the oldest wine ever found in liquid form. FTC, find the crock.
Um, okay, so the oldest wine thing, I could have swore when I was browsing the web, I could have swore something popped up about oldest wine. So I think that one's real. I think the moose one's real. As much as I think the first one, I think the first one's fake, but I think that stuff like that actually does happen. Like people try to sell their kids and stuff. But I think the first one's fake.
Now, let me ask you this. You didn't fuck around and start looking this shit up, did
I
you? I
swear
hope.
to God, I didn't. I swear to
Okay,
God.
because you hit this
I'm watching
dead,
right now in the
you
background.
hit it dead solid perfect.
Yeah, because I have Fox Sports One on the background because I like when we're doing the show, I like to have like sports or something on in the background. But I got the MLS on. I don't really watch it that often, but it's Philadelphia versus Cincinnati, and Philadelphia just tied. It's 2-2. I'm locked into that while I'm like listening. But no, dude, I would never,
Yeah,
upset the.
because it ruins it.
I
It
would
ruins
never
it,
upset the
Sean.
integrity of the show, and but it was just one of those things. But here's the thing, though: the first one might be fake. You might use that as a fake one, but that stuff does happen, dude.
Yeah, when I was writing it, I was getting I was like, how much of a creepy thing could I write? And I wrote down, I thought, my God, this could happen. Yeah, it probably does happen, which also made me believe that you might go for it, right? Now, don't you know that I'm thinking to myself, unless he watches the news, and then I know this shit might be on the news. Don't you know that Moose story was on the last? You know when they do the world news, David Muir on ABC when he does the world news every night. There's always one little cute little story at the very end. It was this Moose story, and I'm like, oh shit. And
I don't honestly that just you like I'm like I don't think Joe would like write that with a pontoon boat and all that. It was very specific. I know mooses like kind of are located in the Alaska area too, so I'm like, okay, that's definitely realistic. And then the oldest wine, like I said, when I was browsing the web at some point, I could have swore I saw something about oldest wine, and that seems like a real lot. All of them seem very logical. It's just a matter of like, okay, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. So, and
You
you know
know,
what?
it's Wawa Hoagie Fest. So right now, Wawa, they're not a sponsor, but it'll be cool. Because I went there tonight. You get a classic hoagie for $6.
What does it normally cost, Shawnee?
I believe it costs close to $8 for a classic.
I'm gonna say they're giving you $2 off. All right. That's okay. That's reasonable. Um, I don't, I don't hit that a lot. And when I do,
What was your cheat meal on Saturday? Oh, dude, this guy in the Cincinnati Philadelphia game, did he just score from half field?
all right. All due respect, though, that's like Major League Soccer, Sean, and I'm
Oh no,
hip.
but this is
But
crazy. I think the guy just scored from half field.
but Shawnee, yeah, stay with me, baby.
Okay.
That's basically that's and I'm cool. It's cool, but it's pro soccer, and really, I mean, you really got it. We got other things. I understand what you're
Oh,
doing,
so what
and
was
you
the
look
cheat
at
meal
it,
for?
but let's not. What was my cheat meal? Last week. Oh, you know what? I stayed in and just made some stuff at home. And I just did some dogs and I did my grandmother. I told you this, my grandmother, God rest her soul, she had a baked bean recipe. You don't want to eat baked beans all the time or this or that, but you know what? Baked beans in like a picnic type of potato salad and hot dogs and hamburgers, a good baked bean. And this is Pennsylvania Dutch, dude. And it's a process to make these things, but they're so god darn good. I'm telling you. It's made with chopped onion, with bacon, okay, and with molasses and brown sugar and ketchup and mustard and all kinds of good, and it's got this, and it just comes together and coagulates, and you've got these baked beans in this thick sauce and a sauce. I'm telling you, it's just tremendous. Like I said, it's Pennsylvania Dutch. It's Grandma Mary. Love you, lady. God rest your soul. She died in 1980, but so I had that, and I saved a few bucks because don't get it twisted. I mean, Shawnee, we could talk about that one night. I mean, it used to be that one of the things about fast food was, well, you're going to save a lot of money because it's cheap. Well, these days now, I go out and I don't even pig out the way I used to, and I'm still north of 25, 26, $27 almost every time. And I'm talking if I go to Pizza Hut, if I go to McDonald's, if I go to Chick-fil-A, don't get it twisted either. Chick-fil-A is even a little more. All these places that just one grown man with a decent appetite, you're looking at north of $25. So I just
All
wanted
right,
to,
so you had
yeah,
your meal on Saturday. It wasn't like a typical cheat meal, but it was something that was pretty good.
it was something I normally wouldn't eat, something decadent that I normally wouldn't eat. You know what I mean? So go ahead.
The guy, there's a guy who works for ESPN. His name's Field Yates. I couldn't believe this when I saw it before the show. He rated Anthony Richardson, the quarterback from the Colts, number 3 in the NFL. I was like, what's this guy smoking?
Yeah, yeah, it must
He
be the
rated
real good shit.
He rated him. I think he rated Jalen Hurts too, which I'm like, oh, that's cool. Jalen Hurts is 2.
No, I think he's still smoking some shit.
No, but to have Anthony Richardson even sniff in the top 5 and even top 10 is insane.
Well, I don't know. I'd have to hear more about what his criteria are for this list. Because if you're talking about physical specimens, talk about a little different thing. But if you're talking about playing the position of quarterback, I love Jalen Hurts. I was telling you this the other night with those dudes at the concert. I love Jalen Hurts. 2 years ago, he had this great year. So I said, okay, I just need to see him back that up. And last year, he didn't back it up. He regressed. So the jury is still out. I love the kid. I love Jalen Hurts as a young man, as a person. He's a good dude. I love everything about him, but I'm not convinced he's a superstar
Yeah, I
quarterback
know.
yet.
I know.
And
We'll talk.
this other Joker, I doubt it. But go ahead.
I will talk about it another show. I don't want to get too much in the Jalen Hurts, but we'll have more of like a football preview.
Right, 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 right.
But what you call it? I just saw when I saw Anthony Richardson, that stuck out like a sore thumb.
You asked what that guy was smoking. I don't think he was smoking anything. I think he was doing acid or something. I have a little something here.
Can I
I
just
wanted.
say? Can I just
Go
say?
ahead. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
I want two of my favorite actresses right now. My favorite actresses right now. Two of them like most attractive to me that I really just they're doing a good job. They're up and coming. They're really attractive to me. Madeline Pesh. She's in a recent horror movie called The Strangers, but she's also from the show called Riverdale. She's got red hair. Joe, I'll send you
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. Send it to me. Send it.
And then Olivia Cook. She plays a character in Game of Thrones, but she was also on a show called Bates Motel years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like based off that movie Psycho, but it talked about like the Bates Motel and all that stuff. It was a show. But Olivia Cook and Madeline Pesh. So Joe, if you have any actresses,
Well, there are probably several, but I'm just going to zero in on two that come to mind right here and now because they're on the same program. The program's called The Rookie, and I never thought I would like it, but I started looking at it just because I was looking at, wow, look at that, and all of a sudden the story is pretty good. But these two actors, there are four of them, four very attractive young ladies on this show, but one of them, her name on the show is Selena. She's a little Latin girl, just adorable. She's just adorable. Um, and there's another one. There are a couple more, but there's one, and you said redhead, and this is atypical for me. On this show, there's a redhead that plays a lawyer, fair skin and red hair, something that I normally would stay on. But the way that she's just beautiful. The bone structure, her face, she's beautiful. And with the orange hair, these big blue lamplights looking at you. I mean, she's built. She's a beautiful woman and a great actress too, because she plays a villain. She's a lawyer, but she's a real crooked lawyer. But those two characters, if you look on the show Rookie, you'll find out their names. I don't know their names. One of them plays the part of the cop. Her name is Selena, and the other one is a lawyer. She's the only redhead with blue eyes on the show. So you look at those, and I wanted. And speaking about shows, though, Sean, I wanted to ask you something because I saw something the other night, and I love this program. I don't know why I never brought this up before on the show. It's called Find Your Roots with Henry Gates. Did you ever see this?
what is it called?
Find Your Roots with Dr. Henry Gates.
What channel was it on?
It's on public television.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's on
Quite a
public.
bit. I'm pretty sure, and you see it on other, but this Mr. Gates, Dr. Gates is a very educated man. What he does is he'll have people come in and inquire about he was the 21andMe before that started, you know what I mean? But he does it the old-fashioned way, the legwork, and he'll find you documents and so forth. Now it's expensive, so most people that have this done by him are people with cash and this and that. Well, Michael Douglas the other night was on, and it was just fantastic. His relatives on his mother's side actually knew and had correspondence with George Washington. It's there. The letters, it's like verified and proven. And just to contrast that with Michael Douglas, the actor, okay, the mother's side here and even knew George Washington, the father's side from over in Russia and a part of Russia in a place called Salima or something. It's a weird like little region or town over in the former, or maybe even before it was USSR, former Russia, over there, and they were Russian Jews. And how, what Gates rather, thinking I've got my computer guy mixed up. What Gates said to him, what he learned about Michael Douglas's relatives that came from that part, that they were Jewish, and the way that
Is that your thing again?
that is, but it only went out once. Let me keep my fingers crossed. I think what happened was maybe they had a false. They had a. Let me talk. They had a false alarm, obviously, a little while ago, and they're probably just trying to make sure, let's check this, let's check that, and in doing so, I get that annoying noise. But anyway, it was just interesting to see the dichotomy, and Jewish people, the way they were treated and pushed aside, and they weren't allowed to get education. They weren't allowed to participate in certain things. It's not only the African American plight and history here. It's people throughout history who have been systematically held down. It was just another reminder.
Yeah. Can I just say, Joe, real quick?
Go ahead. Yeah.
The guy who scored at the half field shot for
Oh,
Cincinnati.
because I was wondering about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, his name is his name is
Yeah, prick. Yeah. No, I'm messing with you. Go ahead. Go
name
ahead.
was Luca Orellano. He's 24 from Argentina, but that's going to be the #1 play at Sports Center tonight. I guarantee you, top 10.
Well,
It has to be because
all kidding aside, yeah, if a guy scores from midfield in soccer, that's pretty damn good. And look, I said to you tongue in cheek, but it is
anyway.
it
So
is what it is.
what's the album cover of the week?
All right, the album cover is, you and I went to the Stones concert last week, Bubba, so I had that on my mind. And the album cover is "Let It Bleed" from the Rolling Stones, 1969. And what's weird is I checked a couple of different places, and there was one website that had this, and albums and this and that. Album wise, it's ranked 3 of 99 on. I will get you, and I'll make it available, that website or whatever. But if you look around, you'll find it's highly regarded. But anyway, the picture. We're not here to discuss the music and anything, although because it could be it could be some record from a guy named Steve Shelter. And you say, who the hell's that? I don't know, but the album cover is live as hell because it's just about the artwork. So the artwork on Let It Bleed is famous. It's got a turntable, a record, and it's got an antique turntable. And anybody that knows what I'm talking about with turntables, there's the turntable, there's the needle that falls down, and then above it, Shawnee, it's a little mechanical arm that comes out, and it holds in midair, it holds a stack of records to be played. So in this instance, what they did was they gave you the antique turntable, they gave you the Let It Bleed album on it, and then they give you this thing that's like, what in the hell is going on here? It looks like a big movie reel, and then a pizza, and then a tire, and then something else, and then on the top is a cake, and on top of the cake there's figurines. It's just really a bizarre album cover, but it's really neat, and it's really well regarded for the album cover,
Yeah, I think
as well as for its music. But
I think it's a big wacky cake that describes layers comprised of a plate, film canister, clock face, pizza, and tire topped amid white frosting with jeweled candies with miniature figurines of the Stones themselves playing a concert. So it's a pretty for 1969. It's a pretty like cool,
yeah, it's
like
cool.
type of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I really, well, we were there anyway with the Let It Bleed, and Monkey Man's on there. So, but go ahead.
News, they discovered a childhood Jesus story on papyrus. I don't know if this is like how they prove this, but they say it's from like the 4th or 5th century, and it's Jesus when he was a kid turning clay birds into real birds. But it's a childhood Jesus story. But I don't know. I don't know how accurate it is, but it's pretty interesting when you hear news like that.
Where was this again, Shawnee?
They discovered the ancient. It was in some museum in Germany. They thought it was just a random note. Then they looked closer. It was actually a story from Jesus, and I think it was from. They said the area was some place in Egypt or something like that. I'm not sure.
A story from Jesus or a story about Jesus?
A childhood story about Jesus. They turned clay pigeons into real birds.
Okay. Well, stories are stories, and like I said, I'm not going to get deep with anything. Although but I do believe in him. I believe he was connected to the divinity. I will do what my father did, and that's try to emulate him and hope when the day comes, if there's such a day, that I'm allowed to participate, that kind of thing. But as far as all the other stories, tales grow taller on down the line. Someone had REO Speedwagon, I think it had a song. The tales grow taller on down the line. Well, what do you think 2,000 years, how much of tales are gonna, so I'm serious. I have reverence for the Bible in that it was written by people who were desert dwellers, and they were spiritual and so forth and so on. But if you think I'm going to lock, stock, and barrel verbatim to the Bible, you're out of your skull. I mean, the Bible says that if you eat shellfish, you're going to hell. I mean, you got to use common sense in with it. But go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
Gun to your head. If someone's asking you to choose to eat a Chick-fil-A sandwich or a McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese, what are you choosing?
Gun to my head. Well, if you have a gun to my head, I'll eat either of the goddamn thing. I mean, I don't, you know what I mean? That's not, It's but if you're asking me to choose between one of the two, I want to take the double quarter pounder with cheese because I don't get it that often. And of the two, I like the chicken sandwich as a cheat meal. But you know that double quarter pounder with cheese, this is not the McDonald's that I grew up on. You know, somewhere along the line they step things up. So maybe it's a little easier to take the prices increases and so forth. But that double quarter pounder with cheese, oh, that's a good burger. It really is. It's a good little meal there. It really is. And that's why McDonald's has been around for so long, Sean. I mean, we all like to joke about it. Like, oh, where are you going to go, McDonald's? Yeah, well, McDonald's is pretty good. You know,
You
it
know what's
really is.
surprising, dude? 7-Eleven actually has
They're the same
they
kind of thing.
they have hot dogs for $2.50, but the buns come individually wrapped. They're like in this drawer, and like it's a heated drawer, but it
Hmm.
comes in a plastic individual wrap. So you get the buns freshly wrapped, like it's in an individual plastic wrap, so it's fresh. It's heated up, and
Hmm.
then the hot dog's a decent size, and they have like a hot dog bar like the top of your hot dog. But for $2.50, like if you need something cheap for dinner, a 7-Eleven hot dog is not that crazy.
Yeah, it's not that bad. And I was telling you about something. Hungry Man, there was a Hungry Man fried chicken, and a lot of times these frozen dinners, you're like, get the hell out. That's for years. I'm like, oh, you got to be out of here. But I live alone and this and that, and sometimes I little something. And I don't feel like doing all the cooking. So let me try these Hungry Man things. And I had one the other last week on last Sunday. The chicken, I did them in the oven. You could do it in the microwave, but then all bets are off. I did it in the conventional oven. This chicken, it's held on to some of its crispiness, not all, some. And it was just enough because the meat was tender, it was falling off the bone. I enjoyed the rest of it. It was like, it was like mom cooked you dinner. It was like good. So it was one of those deals, bro. It was good and I was happy with it. But
So you want to wrap
how
up the
about
show?
yeah, a little sports or something, and maybe a wrap up, or
We did
let's.
we did some sports already.
We did no. You talked about some dude kicking a fucking soccer ball
Oh,
from
we
half field.
also talked about we talked about the finals. We talked about football a little bit.
Yes. Okay. We did. I'm sorry. I stand. I must be wearing orthopedic shoes because I stand corrected. We did. I just want to see what the hockey. It's quite interesting. This Edmonton team is creeping up, and if they win Friday night, that's going to be scary. It's scary for me too, because I mean, I have a little something with Edmonton. The Flyers went to the finals several times in the 80s and 90s. It was commonplace. But every time they did, they ran into not only a good team, a legendary team. The teams that beat the Philadelphia Flyers in the finals for the Stanley Cups were legendary teams, and they were one of them. We went 7 games with those Jokers in Edmonton and well into the third period, and they got us. I'll never forget it. So I never forget Gretzky. Messier can go fuck himself. Really, I don't, and that's another reason why I'm sorry. I didn't mind seeing the Rangers lose because it reminds me of Mark Messier jumping up and down playing double dutch with his little jumping up and down. Hey, fuck all that. So, I want the Panthers to, and I like that kind of hockey anyway that the Panthers
Yeah. So
play.
you want the Panthers
So,
to win?
yeah, I hope so. But that's where I get
All right.
my
So you got any last words?
my disdain for Edmonton. Last words. Here we go. Ready? No one can hold a candle to Thomas Edison. Good night.
Take care, everyone.